I wrote this song when I was drunk. Like now. Shout, 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 pow! Pow! Wow! Pow! With a fucking hernia and all. I'll play a Queens of the Stone Age song. How about that? We got a phone, laid all alone. He can't help you, but I know I told to listen long. You know this is wrong. I've been out of Queens now for 15 years. It's been a long time. It was hard at first. I was like, fuck, man, my band's going on without me.
I met Nick in high school when I was about 14. At that time, there were kind of punk rock kids and metal kids, and the only thing that we all agreed on was Lemmy, Motorhead.
Nick always had an edge. But, you know, growing up as kids in the 80s, he was like kind of like a Spicoli. You know, he was like a desert punk, you know, heavy metal kid, long hair, smoked a lot of pot.
I got into Cro-Mag's video, We Gotta Know. I was a long-haired kid.
I was like, dude, you're in the video.
I never forget that show, you know. It made me really want to play music because those guys came out and talked to all the kids, me being one of them.
Nick and I drove from the desert to see the Dwarves open up for the Melvins at the country club in Reseda. I remember Blag coming out and he like grabbed Nick by the hair and like punched him. First thing, and they played like 8 or 9 minutes of music and then destroyed their shit and left. Nick and I were so excited, we forgot the Melvins were even gonna play.
In those early days of Kyuss, Nick was already fully formed. As he sings now, he sang then. He's a bit like a rock and roll Komodo Dragon, like it's been that way for thousands of years. One night I went out to a party in the desert and I'm driving home and I just see Nick walking along the side of the road. And we were in Indio. Nick lived in Palm Springs. I pulled over and I said, where are you going? He goes, I'm walking home. We lived 20 miles away and it was like 2 in the morning. To me, that's so beautiful.
We identified way more with the bands up in Seattle than we did in LA. Because there was still this like hair metal thing going on. There was definitely no audience for what we were doing. The intensity and the frustration, and sometimes, you know, he could just throw his bass across the room. 4 songs into the set, we were angry. That's most likely the real reason why Kyuss just imploded so fast, is because we were 4 distinct personalities with our own ideas of what we wanted and needed to do and be.
When Queens was playing maybe its second show ever, was at Emo's in Austin 20 years ago. Next to it there was this little gay bar called the Blue Flame, and Nick was playing in there. He's now shaved his head completely, had this long bearded sort of G.G. Allen look to him. He's completely naked. The audience is right there, and he lights this piece of paper on fire, takes a drink, turns and blows fire, not above these people's heads, but through, like between them. You know, everyone went, ah, and then started the, bam, the bass started the set. And I immediately turned to Alfredo and said, we gotta get Nick to play bass for us, you know.
Nick's also a connoisseur of highs. You know, he'll take any drug. And that's a high, that's a rush. Come out and play naked and blast your music off.
I haven't done it for a long time because I'm kind of older now. But when I was in my 20s and 30s, it made sense and it felt good, and it was like, it feels great to just be free, you know. It was my only way to express my feelings of freedom, you know.
Plus he used to play a Dan Armstrong bass, which is clear. So you'd see his junk pressed like, you know, like pressed ham.
I'm proud of my old schoolmate for doing so good with him, what he's doing. I don't necessarily agree with all that he does. Part of the reason why I'm not there, I imagine. I like that he stayed true to himself. Like he loves what he's doing. He's totally content with what he does. We call him Mr. Lucky. Mr. Lucky has gotten lucky every time. I do lots of stuff, and but it's the only stuff I like. Svetlanas are great, and Olga from Svetlanas. Now that's the front man. I've been in George for 22 years. It's just crazy to think about. I play on all the records since 1993, and I'm proud of the Dwarves. Wag's been a great friend of mine for a long time, and it's kept me busy in times when I really needed to stay busy.
Yeah. No motherfucking dwarves, rock legends in the place to be. Revolver magazine is in the house, documenting legends at work. Nick Oliveri, Mr. Rex, everything.
Aside from the fact that he is the best bass player in rock and roll, and always has been, and his voice sounds like a scream from hell. He has this very sophisticated way of saying really dirty things. No longer will I listen to the words you speak, instead of shut the fuck up. People don't realize how sophisticated he is because it's all in this veneer of simplicity. But he is one of the most talented people in the history of rock and roll.
Blast is doing a new record. Unfortunately, Joey Castillo is not going to be with us, which I love playing with Joey. He's like my brother. Playing bass with him on drums is it's a blessing for me because it works. I know what he's going to do next, and he knows what I'm going to do next. And we just kill it as a rhythm section, I believe. I played in Blood Clot. Unfortunately, that split apart, which is a damn shame. I'm really, I'm hurt about that. But what are you going to do? I only play in bands that I like. Joey offered me a couple things, like when I was down and I was needing some dough, and he's like, hey, you want to play in Scott Weiland's band? And I was like, I have to turn it down because I don't like it. I've said no to lots of things that could have gotten me out of different holes that I was in because I didn't like the music. But one thing I can do is hold my head up high when I walk into a room because I feel good about myself and not ever bending over backwards or forwards or any other ways to make the rent. I'd rather starve than play something I don't like. People have asked me to sing on their songs. I always say yes. I ain't ask for money. It's about holding a physical CD or a record in my hand, like, wow, we did this thing, I'm on this. And it's such a more of a payment than like the $1,000 or whatever, $500 you would get that I would spend in a night, you know, partying. I'm putting out a series of songs that I was part of that came out with other bands. It already came out on their records. This is volume 3. When I go out and play with the band, I'm doing it because I love it. I was with Melissa Oftemar, the Hand of Doom. She asked me to do it, and I said, okay, sure. It's hard to say no to her. She's a beautiful woman. She goes, I do all the Ozzy songs. I want you to come in and sing the Dio song. I said, really? Okay. What song? She goes, Mob Rules. I go, okay, cool. So I knew the song, but you don't know the song till you're like on the spot. You think you know the song, you think you know all the words. So I'm like, holy shit, dude, Mob Rules, fuck. So it was fun. It was like an off-the-cuff thing, and some words you can hear I don't remember. I'm kind of just fucking it up, you know. Best bass player of all time, Geezer Butler. You know what I mean? Like, if you come from punk rock, if you come from heavy rock, if you come from anything innovative, if you listen to Kyuss, you can hear there's some little bit of Black Sabbath influence there, I'm just saying. My band, Mondo Generator, got to open up for Motorhead on tour in Germany, and I got to sing on stage for the song Overkill with Lemmy. And he shook my hand, he goes, you're a good bass player. And I was like, what? Like, you know, it fucks with me to think about it. He goes, hey. And I turned around and he gave me the save, like the save handshake. And I was like, he kind of winked at me like, without saying we're even. I was like, oh my God, dude.
There's a kinship between those two. Someone like Lemmy is the coolest guy of all time. You know, funny, smart, just easy to be around. And I think Nick has that same thing.
I love Black Flag. It's like, this is as close I'm gonna get to a real Black Flag show, and this is as real as Black Flag show is gonna get, and I'm gonna be up front for the whole thing, and if I get pounded in the face by somebody, I'm gonna be there for it. I'm gonna love it. I remember somebody headbutted me at some point in the show.
Nick doesn't just show up for anything. He gets involved.
Whatever's fucking with me in my real life was gone for at least that moment. Like, what? What was the problem? I don't know what the problem was. She hates me or he hates me, whatever, who cares? I'm having fun right now, and whatever was bothering me was gone because I just saw the Ramones play. I just saw Motorhead play, you know, I just saw Black Flag or something like that. Like a train, you won't let me go. One time high, I always know. I wanna promise again. The blackness of my voice is a trace by my ears. Like a train.